Yo, nobody here. What up? In the sunshine. When you're feeling down, you should never make it. What up, what up, what up? What up, people? Hit my song here. I love this song. Hit my song right here. This is Mary's. I think this is her best album. It don't get no better than My Life. Now, I do feel that remix album was a motherfucker though. I don't care what nobody say. That remix album was a beast. But this one, best studio album to me. My Life, My Life. What's up, y'all? I guess I'm gonna come on here and talk about something I saw somebody say, man. I saw somebody make a comment, and it was a rather ignorant comment, but it speaks to a lot of how people think in the black community. There are a lot of people in the black community that are stupid like this. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of know why and where they come from. I'm just not finna start a war or take a jab at a couple of specific YouTubers who we all know, but I'm not gonna say their names. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just say what I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, about how I think it's unfair. What's up, Rayno? What's up, Chair? Rayno Chair. I made a comment yesterday about how I think it's unfair that some black man who starts a business or does real estate or whatever has to compensate the government upwards of 30% when the Democrats get in office. You have to pay 30% of your profit. I did a deal back in what was it? 2000, I think 9. Like one of my last deals right before I did my company club, I did a deal. I made like $45,000 off of it. I had to pay, literally had to pay like out of 40, it was like 48. What's up, Marv? Out of that 48, man, I had to pay some ridiculous amount in taxes, man. Out of $48,000. Now, why am I talking about this? Because what pisses me off about this whole situation is that black people, somebody in the comment section the other day said, or yesterday, said that taxes are the reason that the United States is what it is. It's because of the ability to tax people. Okay? Now, as black people, when you are that married to government, this speaks to the destruction of our community, our economic infrastructure, everything. Because you literally think that you need the government to make you, I guess, even and whole as a black person. If it isn't for the government is the black community's biggest ally. Government this and the government that. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, it's not government. Okay? It's not government, guys. It's really, I'm gonna say this. First of all, taxes didn't really come, it's not like taxes were written into the Constitution. In fact, was founded because of out of tax revolt, out of people refusing to pay only, what was it, like a real low percent, like 8-9% tax. It's ridiculous. But they refused to pay it and they revolted, right? And this is where you get the Tea Party and all that stuff, the original Tea Party that came along, right? When they dumped it into the, wherever they dumped it, the Atlantic River, whatever, Hudson, I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is this, man. Like, I think that the issue is a lot of black people have a profound love for government. And I think that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I know why, because y'all watch certain YouTubers and they got your ass brainwashed and you buy that shit hook, line, and sinker because you don't have enough, I guess, wherewithal to really be able to find and research this shit and information on your own. The government was only able to start taxing after the well, first they started taxing the rich. They started with the rich, right? And they were getting taxed like 1%, right? It was some 10%, something like that, right? The way that the Constitution is set up, you barely supposed to know that the government is there. I'm just being straight up. People should be able to go about their lives. And this is why you have people that make big. I know black people think that all of the Tea Party was just over racism and hating black people, hating Obama. It wasn't. A lot of those people in the Tea Party are upset with government, the size of government, the scope of government. Government makes up 40% of the American economy. Government. The government does. I don't know. I'm almost libertarian except for gay marriage. I ain't rocking with that. But other than that, I'm a libertarian. Now, if you say, hey, the government is completely out of marriage altogether, I actually rock with that better. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a better stance to take. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say this, man. Like, when I see black people say some of the shit they say about how the government is the reason that America is America, that shows a level of ignorance that I can't fathom. So I can't understand how somebody would say some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is just historically understand America came about, they wrote the Constitution. America wasn't a wealthy country. But they became wealthy during the time of the robber barons in the Industrial Revolution. America then spiked economically, like straight up. It started shooting way up in the Industrial Revolution. What's up, y'all? Good morning. But I'm gonna tell you what happened was the Industrial Revolution took place. Hey, life is beautiful. And when it happened, what happened was businesses were being created, opportunities were created for the economy. The economy grew. People went from a gregarian economy where people were mostly on farms, and people started moving to these large cities and things like that. And it was for the development. It was because of the development of certain robber barons that provided this opportunity for everybody else. Like, for example, Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie produced steel. That's exactly. You had a lot of Black Wall Streets that benefited from this growing economy as well. Right? Good point, legend. But the point I'm trying to make is the economy was growing and doing what it was doing in spite of government, without government. And we've never lived in an America, as far as black people, we haven't, the ones that's living today, have never seen that. We've never seen what an economy could do, what our economy could do if left untethered, from government. I believe, this is just me, I believe that a lot of the obstacles that hold people back economically are government inflicted. I believe that. If a bank says, hey, I want to do this, and do that strictly by race, they can't do it if they wanted to. A black bank, as much as they love your ass, so I can start a bank. It would be illegal for me to loan you something because I see you as a descendant of a slave and just give it to you, not your credit based on your economy, but based on, let's say, your business plan, and or let's say you got a deal you want to do based on the numbers, the appraisal. If you have a licensed contractor, now hard money companies do that, but not just strictly because you're black. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just loan something to somebody just because they black. You got to make it seem like on paper it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, other banks and other races do have, like these Asians, Koreans. They have banks in my city. I'm from Montgomery. They literally damn near do just banks loans for themselves, because you can't. You go in the bank, it's all in Korean. You don't understand shit. They don't want your business. And it ain't that many. Montgomery's damn near 60% black. So who are they catering to? Because there's only maybe 5% who speak Korean, if that. You know what I'm saying? Turn this down. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make here is, guys, when it comes to government, thanks y'all, hit the like button. Government is not really what empowers black people or empowers America. Government, if anything, hampers America from being greater than what it is financially. I really believe that. All you got to do is look at, there's a lot of people, like, I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm going to tell you how I know government hampers a lot of production, right? Let's say I'm a billionaire, right? I'm a billionaire. I got a company. I got a couple of factories here and there, right? I'm diversified in a few investments, whatnot, right? And then the government comes in and they want to raise capital gains, or they want to raise my tax rate to 45, 50%, right? What am I going to do? Are you going to pay 45 or 50% in tax to a motherfucker that ain't help you do shit? Because I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The government didn't help you do a damn thing, especially if you black. The government didn't give you shit. You made it in spite of. I saw some ignorant ass nigga say yesterday that he said, while I was talking, he said, what did he say? They set up the system. Bitch, the government didn't set no damn up for me to do. You believe that shit, you stupid. You believe that shit, you dumb. Motherfuckers get, the government is people. That's what it is. Motherfuckers get rich in government leeching off motherfuckers. If I become a successful, okay, well, you helping the community, we're not gonna trip about that. No, they're gonna be like, fuck that, you can give us our 50%. That's how they feel. That's what's fucking New York up. That's why a lot of rich, wealthy people are leaving the states like California and New York, coming to the South, because they overtaxing the shit out of people up there. Taxes don't make a country great, people. They don't. And for black people, when I think black people have tethered their mindset and their ideology to the idea that we need taxes because the government they can give us shit, then we fucked up. We fucked up. Because that means as America goes, so does the black community in a sense. And what I mean by that is, you don't understand. I believe this. The Koreans that do hair, let's go back in 2008 and see if their recession, they had a recession. I don't think so. I think black women still was buying weave at the same motherfucking rates. You get what I'm saying? Black women still was doing shit. Now, the strip clubs might have suffered. But when it came to weed, that shit, they had to have it. They still was selling perm and just for me and all that shit at the same rates. Damn, I don't get no likes. I got 4 likes. Don't nobody like my ass. Damn. Y'all don't like your boy. That's cool. People, I just think that when it comes to the government, I think we bought into this ideology. Government is good for black people. I think, I'm going to just make this case. I think government has been one of our biggest enemies in America. I think whenever black people have amassed any type of success in the private sector, government was used, eminent domain used, high taxes. If you are successful, they talking about taxing is good. The government is using dollars to force you to take your child to a fucked up school for a second. They force you to they'll take your tax dollars and force you to send your child to a school that's underperforming, like those jobs. Government is not your friend, black people. The only friend I would say that you have is business in dollars. You know what I'm saying? Especially black dollars. And I think that when I hear people make dumbass comments like that, I saw a couple of people yesterday. Because I said, man, shit, when I was doing houses, when I went and worked on my houses, it was trying to do, no motherfucker came out there and helped me. Ain't nobody come grab no paintbrush. Ain't nobody no sheetrock. Ain't nobody help me keep that grass cut. Ain't nobody, when I put the window panes in my glass, some kids took some rocks and threw them motherfucking window panes and bust them all out. And I had to go back and sweep that shit up and buy all new glass and get that shit put back in my window. And who did it? Me. By myself. And I had to start sleeping at their house to protect the bitch. Ape ass niggas that was throwing shit up in my house and busting my windows out. See what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to fix the shit up so I can sell it. It was a duplex. I was trying to fix it and sell it, and them niggas in there busting my windows out. See what I'm saying? I got a lot of damage when it comes to black folk. I'd have been fucked over 1,000 times by niggas. So what I'm saying is this. The black people, the government actually has probably done more damage. When you start looking at the programs that these guys say America's great. So let me think about that for a second. So the government takes dollars from people and give them to people that don't have to pay their rent. Let's think about that for a second. If But I don't have to pay my rent. I got to pay $8 for rent. I don't got to pay for food, right? All I really do is got to pay utilities, and I can go get that shit subsidized too, right? You get a check and get that subsidized. You got 3 or 4 kids, you get all types of programs and shit. You got people that live in the black community, their whole monthly bills come to $100. Is that good? Now, that might be good for the average Joe Blow on the street, but let's be honest. I don't even think it's good for the average Joe Blow, because I think people have studied government for thousands of years. I think if you study economies and study governments, if I take $1 billion and drop it into some nation, some struggling, fledgling nation, that nation will not be allowed to build certain infrastructure and do certain things that it needs to do to be self-sustainable. This is basic shit. If you take an animal in nature, and they know this is Machiavellian principles I'm giving y'all. This is and this is why motherfucking niggas don't understand shit. They think government taxing is good. No, it's not. That shit is evil. When you take a child, now, can you control taxes? I'm not saying you don't need. So what do you think? Do you think we don't need to have taxes at all? They always ask you them stupid ass motherfucking questions. No, I didn't say that you don't need to have no taxes. I didn't say none, but a very minimal amount. It should not hamper or hinder business. I'm actually for the damn fair tax. That's just me. I believe across the board, everybody need to pay like 8% or some shit, 9%, and be cool with it. That way we don't even got to think. See, 9%, you ain't gonna even think about that shit. You'll just take that 9% hit and keep it moving. And the government at that rate would literally, you could get rid of the IRS, you could get rid of a lot of shit, and the government would function better. I would also get rid of these 2,000 bases that we have all over the world that we no longer need when we have drones that we can fly from Nevada and strike and airstrike any motherfucking body anywhere, right? We can hit your ass anywhere all over the world. We got shit flying around the earth right now that reloads and refuels and shit. We don't need no damn bases no more. You got aircraft carriers, planes that can fly 14,000 miles. Like, why do we need to have bases? We don't need them no more. I would break down probably at least 60% of the bases. Government can function way better, but it doesn't function like that because of, first of all, the military industrial complex makes billions off of these bases. You see what I'm saying? Somebody got to supply toilet paper to these bases. Somebody got to supply water, construction. That's General Dynamics. That's Lockheed Martin. You see what I'm saying? And that makes up over 75% of the government. Like, I think I saw the federal budget. It's like over half. I think it's over half. Over half our federal budget is military spending. This is the type of shit that, and they say taxes are good. Like, dude, do you understand how much money they just spending on this shit? If somebody really wanted to fix, and this is why they cheated Ron Paul. I'm not trying to be, not like Ron Paul loved black people. I'm just saying, Ron Paul was talking like this, and this is why they stopped him. This is why they cheated him in the Republican primary and shit like that. You can't have a guy getting there that's really talking about actually looking at the Fed and fixing it. That's somebody that really wants to fix America. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that. So I just, when I hear people say shit like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my analogy, right? I'm a billionaire, right? I got all this money, right? Let's look at what taxes do. So first of all, first thing I'm gonna do is, if let's say I'm grossing $200 million a year, right? If I'm grossing $200 million or netting $200 million a year, whatever, right? Would I take that money, and if I'm netting that off my businesses and things like that, would I take that money and put that money into would I allow that money to go into the government? Would you pay $100 million? Check, somebody say, yes, I will pay $100 million. You making $200 million a year. Would you pay $100 million to the federal government? Somebody tell me who will. So if you will, I'm waiting. Nobody? Of course you won't. I'm gonna tell you why you won't. The reason you won't is because you just like anybody else. You're a human being. You didn't go into business to get a government $100 million. You went in business for you and your family. This is what everybody does. So when I hear somebody saying taxing is good, like somebody actually said that, what did he say? America is America because of its ability to tax. The profound, deep ignorance and understanding of how government works and how business works, right? Nobody nowhere would pay that kind of money and go in business to have their money sent to the damn government at that level. So what would they do? What's the first thing I would do? I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I'll hire a tax accountant. I will hire an accountant. I'm talking about one of the best in the fucking country. I will hire them. I will pay them $10 million. I kid you not. I will go to KPMG, one of the big 6 accounting firms. I will fly to their headquarters, walk my ass up in there, and I'll be like, look, man, I made $200 million. I don't want to pay the government. Here's $10 million cash. Can you help me? You know what they're going to do? They're going to make it where I don't pay that much money. I'm going to give you a good example. Mitt Romney, right? I can't stand Mitt Romney. I think he was the wackest. He was the worst guy to pick in 2012, right? Mitt Romney was a savvy is a savvy businessman, right? So what Mitt Romney did is he got into knockdown drag outs with motherfuckers about this shit. Mitt Romney, they showed his tax returns. Mitt Romney made like $70 million and paid like $6 million or $5 million, some shit. Like he paid like 8% in taxes, right? Everybody was upset. Mitt Romney only paid 8%. He's not paying into the government. Who the fuck goes to the government? Huh? Here you go. Here go $100 million. He go. What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to go get him $30-something million? Would you pay them $35? I wouldn't. If I make $70 million, I'm giving the government $2 million if I can. This is the way shit works, right? So what I would do is hire a tax accountant, a tax attorney. I'll make sure all my shit, I'll keep the IRS at bay. And if I do have to pay, let's say I make $100 million and they get it down with, man, you only got to pay out of $200 million. All you got to pay is, we're going to get you down to 12%. So I got $1 million. I'm going to stretch that shit out as long as I can. I'm going to pay your ass $1 million a year for 24 years. That's how that shit going to go. I'm going to roll that shit out long as I can. And then when I die, I'm going to put that shit in some sort of vehicle that them motherfuckers can't touch. As much of it as I can. This is how people structure their money. Or what I will do is hide it from the government and send it to Swiss bank accounts. I will put it in the Cayman Islands. I will put that money offshore. Why? I would probably even denounce my citizenship, which is what a lot of ultra rich people do. They'll denounce their citizenship. See, what people do, we look at the citizenship. You can only take, when you denounce your citizenship in your personal name, you can only have $600,000, right? When you denounce your citizenship. Because I looked into this shit, right? It's how pissed off I was. See, you'll be motivated when you make you some sizable money, and the motherfuckers start hitting you like, man, goddamn, is there a way I can avoid this shit? This shit ain't fair. You got rich people, they're called international citizens. They're not even a citizen of a nation. When you get rich, that's what you do. You denounce your American citizenship. You still live in America, obviously. You may even still own assets, but now you don't pay. You'll pay yourself, and you don't owe nobody shit. You don't owe nobody a dime. This is what ultra rich people do, right? Or you might become a citizen, and like I think in the Cayman Islands they had ridiculously low tax rates. I think it was like 1% to 2%, 5%, some shit like that. That's why all that money went over there. They had money in New Zealand. This is why a lot of movies are shot in New Zealand. Taxes. See what I'm saying? You film this shit in New Zealand and save a lot of money. This is why they do the shit they do. You know what I'm saying? And so why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this to say, man, black people, we don't understand business at all. We have a profound ignorance for the damn shit we learned in school. What's up, Chanel? We learned shit in school and we done forgot. Damn, don't y'all remember when they talked about the robber barons and the Industrial Revolution? And the inventions of basically making it where we didn't have to become an agriculture-based economy. We became an industrial-based economy. And people started working in factories. People moved into these large cities and New York and all that shit. And all these skyscrapers started popping up in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Industrial Revolution. This is how America became America. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Chanel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to, or should I say, I looked at the comments. Because I remember yesterday, I was really concerned when I said I made $600,000. Them motherfuckers like, it's fair that the government takes $200,000 from you in taxes. What the fuck? Somebody actually thinks that shit is fair for a black man who comes from the hood, who has never had anything, right? Has to invest $200,000 in the government, has to give the government up to $200,000 of his money. That shit ain't fair. Give a damn what nobody say. And when I hear people say that shit, like you need to pay your fair share, that's fair.
That's a motherfucker that ain't gonna never have a business. That's a motherfucker that don't understand business. And that's a motherfucker that's ignorant and has hitched their wagon to the government. We got to break that way of thinking, line of thinking, people, black people. Government is not our ally. Now, do I need to go into the COINTELPRO? Do I need to go into that? Like, do I need to go into COINTELPRO or just all these government programs and shit where they fucked us over royally? You know what I'm saying? I heard people say government was our friend. No, Thurgood Marshall got up to the Supreme Court and forced a lot of shit in. That's what happened. And since Thurgood Marshall did what he did, the homosexuals have gotten in. A lot of them are pushing their agendas through now. So what Thurgood Marshall has done actually is coming back to bite us in a lot of areas. Because a lot of shit now is being forced when the people don't want it. You know, so the people will vote some shit down, and then these courts, activist judges will get in and enforce a lot of shit on people. Now that's why we're dealing with gay marriage right now, because the country didn't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. We got one. Infrastructure pays for itself. Okay, so guys, this is an example. Infrastructure, like for example, this road I'm in. This is paid. This is why when you go to the gas pump, right, and you pay, I'm driving this SUV right here, right? When I pay for gas, a gallon would cost me $2.30, $2 whatever cent, right? Out of that, I'm talking about maybe 60, 70 cents of that goes straight to the government for roads, right? Now, they may have laid these roads. There's no real way of auditing this shit. They laid these roads and may not repave these roads for decades, right? For like 10, 12 years. You got certain municipalities where people are paying taxes. Like, for example, let's look at New Orleans, right? New Orleans with the levees, right? You pay for the levees. Did they repair the infrastructure? Or were they being corrupt with your fucking money and doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do with it? Come on, people. Infrastructure does not pay for itself. How? Where's the money being made on this road? There's no money being made. This is paid for by tax dollars, like by motherfuckers like me. That's what pisses me off when I hear that shit. Look, and I don't even know who you are. I'm just saying the ignorance of people. And I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying in general, that's the problem. You really believe that this shit paying for itself? This right here. No, somebody has to buy gas. Every time you buy some gas, you may, look, if I can go to the pump and the guy that owned the gas company and whatever want to mark that gas up and say, man, look, I charge you $1. You right now should be paying, we all should be paying in Atlanta about $1.45, $1.50 for gas. We should be. But we paying $2.20, $2.25. Why? That 75 cents is going to the government. You see what I'm saying? When you buy something at the store, that 8 to 10% you might pay extra is going to the government. When I run a business, see what I'm saying? This is where tax dollars, and I do think that you can tax businesses. That is how, but and not unhealthily. But I do think it's okay to tax a business. You know what I'm saying? But this is why a lot of the shit that we have that we call infrastructure is not paid for by itself. School don't pay for itself. School does not make profit. That's why they don't give a fuck. This is why they will have your children in there, right? Let's look at school, because school is part of infrastructure, is it not? So they'll send your child to a school because they zoned, quote unquote, to go to that school. You'll go to that school. Your child will get out not even knowing how the fuck government works, right? Because we see this shit now. We got grown adults, grown ass men and women that don't understand how the fuck government works, right? How much money did these teachers make while you were learning, supposedly learning in school? Huh? They didn't. That's what I'm saying. Most black people don't pay taxes, so they don't give a fuck. We are the lowest earning people, so we thinking, man, I just need to get my income tax check. We love the fucking government. See, because you get a check every year. You get a little $3,000-$4,000 check every year. You understand that out the course of the year, they done hit your ass for that. They done hit you for more than that. You don't know it. You like, man, shit, they take $200 out my check every week. Do the math. $200, 52 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Do the math. $200, 52 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's $10,000. That's a lot of damn money. They give you back a $4,000 check. You think you made some money. You think, man, shit, I'm good, man. Shit, I'm good. I got a tax return. They gave me $3,000 back. Man, they got your ass.
I'll jump your ass over on here. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, man, like, I'm sorry, infrastructure is not paid for by itself. Tax dollars pay for everything you see, guys. All this infrastructure. These politicians, they're making $200,000, $300,000 a year in Washington, D.C. is paid for by us. Everything, government, guys, let me explain. So I know this is going to come as a surprise to some people. Government doesn't produce shit. Government is just for it. Everything the government has, they take it at gunpoint from people. They do. It's called the IRS. It's called the ATF. If they will come kick your damn door in and take your shit if you don't get them their fucking money, which is supposedly voluntary. Guys, let me explain something. The IRS is a criminal organization. The government. The IRS is a criminal organization. You know what I'm saying? It is. Because the IRS, what we fail to realize with the IRS is really not supposed to be in existence. And our tax base, you can look this shit up. It's right on the IRS website. Our tax system is actually supposedly voluntary. We supposedly pay taxes voluntarily. Volunteer not to pay the motherfuckers and see what happened to your ass. Say, hey, I know it's voluntary, so I choose not to. This is the legal jargon that they give our ass. This is the shit they tell us. And we're supposed to just believe this shit. You see what I'm saying? Our government, they got an interest-free loan. Exactly. Even if it's a loan, I think a lot of times they jip the shit out of people. Nobody goes, if you really look at all the money they take out your check, and they're not supposed to take money out your fucking check, and if they say, all right, well, we're going to give you back $3,000, they took 10 and gave you back 3. And you think, yeah, man, I came up, shit, I got a $3,000 check. No, that just means you don't have no discipline and can't save up $3,000. That's what that means. That means you living from paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, can't pay your bills, struggling. And when somebody give you a $3,000 check, that's the most you ever had in your that's the most you gonna ever have in a 12-month period ever, is $3,000. Yeah, see, Martha Stewart had insider trading information. So, I mean, like I said, you do need some government infrastructure. Some. So, what you say? You say, I got paid 25% off commission one time. It was the law. I did my taxes and never got that shit back. That's what I'm saying. You never gonna get that 25%. Do you understand what the fuck they've just done? That is criminal. What they've done. Let's say you work at a company, because I know somebody that works at a company. She makes about 85 base. She'll pull a $8,000 bonus check. They hit that bitch for like 35% easy, and she be mad than a motherfucker. And one year, what she did was she would try to change her exemptions right before the bonus check came, and she would get like, if it's a $8,000 check, she would get like 5,000 or whatever, right? And so what happened was the IRS came back at her and said, you owe for that shit. So she had to lock her shit in, and they forced her to give up damn near 50% of her checks a year just to catch up. You know what I'm saying? They was hitting her ass hard, man. She was like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? They forced her just because she did that shit and cut it down one time. See that shit? Look at this. Commission tax in St. Louis is 35-40%. That's the shit I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. Don't y'all guys get that shit? Like, so when you got a commission, what if you do a strictly commission job? They hitting your ass for 35% of your money? Is that shit fair? Because if you hit me for 35%, bitch, I want shit. I want good credit. I want something. I should be able to walk in the bank and get a loan any fucking time I want to. You hit me for 35% of my check, I should have some sort of benefits from that shit. Don't tell me, well, we provide roads. Bitch, I pay for that at the gas tank. Try that shit with somebody that don't understand that shit. Do you understand literally they taxing us everywhere we go? They hitting us for like 55%. Because they think about it this way. They hit you when you work, right? Then they hit you when you spend. Think about that shit now. So after you done worked and paid them bitches already. Then you go and you buy, let's say you go buy a car. Shit. You buy a car in the state of Georgia, man, that damn tag gonna be $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000. I shit you not. That's why my tag gonna always say Alabama. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna always have me an Alabama driver's license.
I don't give a damn. I can live in Atlanta 30 years. I ain't ever switching over to Georgia. Because every time you buy a car, your tag is ridiculous. I kid you not. I've seen people have to pay $3,000, $2,500 for a damn tag on a car. I sold somebody a car up here. I was about to. I was about to sell a car up here. That damn tag was what was it? It was a 2009, 2008 Chevy Malibu 4-door, and it wasn't it was a Chevy Malibu 4-door, right? And so I tried to sell it. What's up, Cash Money? So when I'm trying to sell the damn car, what happened was, I sold the car to. I was about to sell it to. She thought I was trying to sell it. What's her name? Shamel Leonard, the one that trained me. She thought I was in Atlanta, and she said, "Yeah, well, you're gonna have to pay." The car, I was only selling the car for like $1,700. She said, "Well, yeah, you're gonna have to pay another $900 for the tag or something." I'm like, $900? Yeah. I said, I ain't pay. I said, wait. I said, I'm selling in Alabama. She's like, oh, okay. She went. I sold the car in Alabama. The lady went to the damn tag place. That lady paid $50 for that damn tag. Even 50, I think now it was a little bit more than that. It was about like $100 and some dollars. That's it. She paid $100 some dollars for the tag. That's it. Government, man. Do you know how much business do you think they're deterring in the state of Georgia because they want you to pay all the taxes for the tag up front when you buy the car? How many people saying, shit, I ain't gonna even buy that bitch because it's too expensive for me to pay for the tag? How many people saying, I don't want to sell that car? I don't even want to get in the car business. Because when I sell this car, when I try to sell this car to this person, it's gonna cost X dollars, and I don't want to pay for that shit. See what I'm saying? They made me say fuck it. They missing revenue from the state of Georgia because I chose to say fuck it. I'd rather go pay, sell my car to somebody in Alabama and not pay them taxes on that damn car. This is what taxes do. You know what I'm saying? Before Uber, I'm gonna tell you guys a good example. Uber, my brother was on city council, right? So he called me one day, we was talking, and he said he was at the city council meeting, and this is when Uber had come to Montgomery, because Montgomery just got Uber like, I don't know how many years ago, about 3 years ago, whatever, right? So they say Uber, they was trying to set Uber up in Montgomery, and the taxis came down there bitching, right? And the taxis actually held that shit up for a while. Like, you could not have Uber in Montgomery for a while. So you guys got to understand, I know people that drive for Uber. When you're unemployed, and the fact that you can get in the car and drive for Uber Eats and Uber and shit, like you can drive Uber, the fact that you can do that as an unemployed person speaks volumes. See what I'm saying? As a black person. What that does is that puts you in a circumstance where you can take care of yourself. It may provide you with an opportunity. And so a lot of those people, they got the Democrats to rally against Uber, and the Montgomery Democrat people were fighting against Uber coming to Montgomery. Which, who did they hurt? They hurt the little poor black people that was out there driving, that wound up driving for them. They was hurting them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times the people that get hurt in government are the poor people, the people that they say they're trying to help. We see this with the black family. You know what I'm saying? They literally said they tried to help. Moynihan report said, if you do this, the fathers are going to be out. You do this. And they said, they call it benign neglect. They neglected to talk about it. And what happened? See what I'm saying? Government does the exact opposite of its intentions 90% of the time. Let's look at student loans. What happened with the student loan program that helps students go to school? Dude, you talking about universities, some of the most selfish, non-professional motherfuckers you ever want to meet is a motherfucker a college professor. Universities, right? So you go to these colleges and universities and you give them this ridiculous, ungodly amount. Like right now, Tuskegee, y'all know I love Tuskegee. I went there. Their tuition is like $12,000 right now per semester. When I was there, one number like $7,000, $8,000. That's just tuition. Now, I'm not talking about room and board and all that. I'm just in books. I'm talking about just tuition alone is $7,000. Now, if think about it this way, Ron Paul said when he graduated high school, he wanted to be a doctor. He said he worked at a fast food at a burger joint and paid his way through college. Can you imagine somebody doing that shit today? Can you work and pay your way? Who can work at McDonald's and pay you for your college tuition? Why can't you do that? The reason you can't see, government has made college damn near unaffordable for people, because what they did was, and this is why your medical expenses are so high for doctors. When you go to the doctor, because the doctor feels like, well, shit, the university charged me $80,000 a year for school, so shit, I got $330,000 that I gotta pay. That shit drawing interest. I'm trying to pay it also. I got to make $700,000, $600,000. So I gotta charge you these ridiculous prices, right? Let's look at government again. The FDA, right? Food and Drug Administration. It's supposed to help you, right? Is it not? Well, the FDA, you know what I'm saying? The FDA is another example, right? So there's this process that they have for all these damn drugs and chemicals, right? That they try to give us to stop us from being sick or hurt, to help us, right? Now, we all know that shit kill people. Damn near all of them kill people. There isn't a drug, damn near every drug you see, Lipitor, whatever the name of the shit is, you take it, they run these ads for about 2 years, right? They make I don't know how many billions, and then they do a class action lawsuit for 200 million. Then they keep it moving. Now, how are these companies like Merck, GlaxoSmithKline, how are they able to do that? That's not capitalism, guys. That's corporatism. What they do is they have a monopoly on, these pharmaceutical companies have a monopoly on the food and drug, the drug game. Because what they do is they make it where you and I, let's say I got a cure for cancer. Them motherfuckers will lock my ass up if I cure cancer. If I give you this is government protecting the citizen now. Like let's look at, I'm not a small weed smoker, but if I was dying of terminal disease and they said marijuana would help I would be a chiefing ass nigga. I would, right? And let's look at that for a second. So you smoke the marijuana and they come lock you up for that shit. If you want to take some sort of alternative medicine, they'll lock you up for that shit and try to force you. The parents, if the parents say they want to try to help you with medicine, they will lock you up for that shit. This is government protecting you, right? When it comes to these pharmaceutical companies, they'll have a drug, then they have a class action suit. Have you or a family member ever taken so-and-so? Did you die from someone? Did they die? These motherfuckers playing with folks' lives. They letting people die to make a couple of dollars, right? And then the process, government is so backwards, right? People that work in government don't give a fuck, right? So you'll have to pay. Let's say I create a drug that can cure cancer, right? I will have to, the clinical trials would cost me billions and billions of dollars, right? I wouldn't be able to afford the legal process I would have to go through the FDA to get this shit approved. I would have to sell this shit to a major pharmaceutical company who would then just shelve this shit, right? Why would they shelve it? Because they don't want me to cure. They think it's more profitable for motherfuckers to die or just, be subjugated to that shit. There's plenty of people that have cured cancer. There are people that have cured cancer medically. This shit has been proven in court hundreds of times. And that shit just gets swept under the rug. There was a guy in the 1970s who says, hey, taking fiber prevents cancer or can prevent cancer. They came in and kicked his dough down and took the bread. He was selling his bread that was high in fiber. And they came in, the government came and kicked the dough down and took the bread from the dude, right? We all know Dr. Sebi in his situation, right? He was able to prove shit in court. Some people deny that shit, whatever. I don't. I think, what's the guy name? What's that guy name? DJ Vlad was saying some real slick shit about Dr. Sebi. You know what I'm saying? I believe that before the Food and Drug Administration came along, people had to cure medicine, had to cure shit, and they had people, and the shit had to work. You telling me that nothing worked until the 1940s on anything? Well, life expectancy went up. Yeah, life expectancy went up, but for other reasons. It wasn't just that it was medicine. They call it homeopathic. There are two types of drugs. Homeopathic, I forget the other name of them. But the homeopathic are the guys this is why, because until they were able to create anesthesia, the doctors couldn't get nowhere because they would try to do shit and they ain't have no anesthesia worth nothing. And then they had, I forget, not ether, whatever they call that shit. The type of stuff that they give you to make sure that you don't pass out or you don't. Basically, when they figured out how to do operations and start cutting them motherfuckers, that's what started the medicine field. Now, go back and look at what the Rockefellers and Carnegies and all these robber barons, what these evil people did to medicine. right? You can look, it's documentaries all on YouTube. This shit is public knowledge. You can look it up. You got a ton of shit. Now we know, they literally, the government would tell you that eating food that can do nothing to help prevent or cure disease. Now, if you believe that shit, if you don't think that you can't just take some turmeric or some damn cayenne pepper and do shit and that don't do nothing to your body, lemon juice, honey, natural honey, y'all don't think that shit here do a lot of shit? It reverses high blood pressure, a lot of shit. This is public knowledge, basic shit. They'll tell you it won't work. You know what I'm saying? You got to take this pill, some shit that'll fuck your dick up so you can't get an erection. I'm telling you what I know. You know what I'm saying? This is basic shit. All you gotta do is just take lemon juice and turmeric and cayenne pepper and honey, drop that shit in some water, stir it up, cut you up some ginger and boil that shit and pour that shit in the water and drink it. And it tastes good. It ain't that nasty. Shit tastes pretty good. Drink that shit for about 3 months straight. Then check your blood pressure. I've seen people do that and they shit get reversed and the doctor don't know what the fuck going on because he went to school and somebody taught his ass. Okay, let's look at school for a second. Let's look at universities. This is why I don't get in arguments with people that work in the medical profession because they think they know everything. I got in an argument with the guy who's an engineer. He's an electrical engineer. He prides himself on what he knows. He's a white guy. I was in an Uber going to pick up a car I had just bought. So I'm in the car with him and he arguing with me about he started talking to me and saying all this shit about science. We got in this big, deep, long scientific conversation. And so I started just asking him about experiments that he knew nothing about. I actually showed him on video where people were doing experiments and showing and proving, disproving a lot of shit that he believes is fact. And he could not. He said, man, you believe anything you see on YouTube, don't you? That's where it went to. I said, dude, it ain't that. I'm telling you, I've actually did one. I kind of did one. I didn't do it for real. But I done fucked around with a couple of experiments myself and seen some of this shit ain't real, man. I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know where we at, but I don't know what this is. And he got upset. And the same goes for anybody in medicine. When you talking to somebody in medicine about health, you got people that work in a damn call center answering health questions like basic shit like, you know, what's your blood type shit. And they will sit there and try to tell you that there's no cure for cancer. You know, that's a lie. There's these holistic things don't work. I've seen people say shit like that. I'm like, I'm a nurse. Like, what the fuck you mean? You're a nurse? And you think just because you're a nurse, you're at liberty to tell me what the fuck going on? So I start asking them about the Gershon diet and all this. They don't even know what the fuck the Gershon diet is. I'm like, bitch, if you don't even know what the Gershon diet is, how the hell you gonna tell me it ain't no cure? Look the shit up first. This dude went to court and won and proved he cured cancer. I mean, he got documentation of people that were terminal. The doctor said it wasn't no hope for him. He brought him back. How was he able? He cured it. The cancer was gone. The tumors, what do they call it? Autophagy. Induced autophagy in the cells and made the cells eat the fucking cancer. How were they able to do that? This is a medical term, autophagy, which happens in fasting. That's another thing they don't talk about. Guys, we get cancer 6-7 times over our lifetime. You get cancer 6-7 times. Your body just eats the shit. I kid you not. Your body eats it. Like your body will damn cancer. If you healthy, all you really need to do is get your immune system healthy. You can damn near cure yourself from anything. AIDS, what hell? I mean, anything. You can get cured from that shit. You just got to have a strong immune. I believe that shit. I believe in, like, I do. And I don't think that's tinfoil hat wearing stuff. That's real. That's just real science. This is just science I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no real, but this is the thing. Government is corrupt because government is people, right? So I can run a pharmaceutical, I can run GlaxoSmithKline, I can run Merck and all these companies. I can go to your congressman or senator. I can provide a $200,000 contribution to his campaign, right? And make sure he gets reelected. And when you come in there thinking that you're going to go before whatever to try to get whatever, they're going to create some organization. See, this if you're real smart. If you're really smart, it's not that you have to go before Congress with your shit. If you're real smart, what you'll do is pay Congress or pay a politician or pay a president to establish some sort of government organization that approves shit. A lot of regulation has to do with these government organizations. It ain't got nothing to do with them. I'll create some government organization or some shit that will regulate whatever the fuck you trying to do. And that shit ain't got nothing to do with a law. It's just we establish an organization.
The organizations get in the way a lot of times. It don't even be, you know what I'm saying? And this is black people that think that government is their friend. That government is why America's America. Government holds America back. What do you say? So basically, what gives blacks power again? Obama comes to be president and then turns his back on you, all of you, and creates major racism in the U.S. Okay, yeah, he does. I'm not a big proponent. I can't stand Obama ass, but I know my homeboy told me not to say I don't like Obama. I couldn't stand his saying. I despise it. That's real. I voted for Romney. I'm gonna tell the truth. So what? 2012, I voted for Romney. I was trying to get his ass. I didn't like it. I knew what was about to happen, and sure enough, he did exactly what I thought he's gonna do. Anyway, that's another video. The point I'm trying to make here is, guys, everything that I want done in government, I get done if I'm a major drug company. And who pays the price? The citizens, the taxpayers. When you get sick, guys, you got a great chance. That's why when you go to these hospitals, they are pretty much taught at medical school, because I was talking about medical school. Doctors don't know shit half the time either. What a doctor will do is just give you the shit that he was taught in his internal medicine class to give you. Well, who creates those textbooks? GlaxoSmithKline, Merck. You see what I'm saying? When you go to medical school, they will give you a laptop. I kid you not. These people, these pharmaceutical companies, when you go to medical school, give you laptops, iPads. I mean, free. They just give that shit free to doctors. And then they give the school, they donate, they create textbooks telling the doctors what the fuck they need to do and how the body works. Right? And they'll tell the doctor diet has nothing to do with it. And then when you look at Hippocrates, I think that was his name. The Greek guy who learned a lot of his shit from, we ain't gonna go there. But anyway, Hippocrates, if you look at him, let me hold my damn phone down. If you look at Hippocrates, one thing you gotta look at with him is, he was, Hippocrates is what he was trying to say was that everything he did was through food, man. I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you go look at this, I think, what's the guy name? Damn. Go look at, I think it wasn't Socrates, or I don't think it was Aristotle. I think it was Socrates. He went and sat out the mystics of the Egyptians or whatever. They made him fast for 30 days on number water before he could even come into their temple and start learning from them, something like that. Why did he do that? Huh? Like right now, it's certain things that you will never see studies of. You'll never see a study of the placebo effect. If you will, I'm surprised, because ain't no money in it. And you won't see a study of fasting, like not major studies like that. Like ain't no money in fasting for real. All that is just drink water. You could drink faucet water. I kid you not. You can go on a fast and just drink regular faucet water. I know it got nasty shit in it. We all know that. But if you drink regular faucet water, bottled water, right? You go on a fast for X amount of days. That will be the best thing. Your body will cleanse itself like you wouldn't believe. Why is this not taught to us in school? Do you guys understand? We've forgotten how to really what our bodies can do. People live long times. I actually believe what they say in the Bible about them folks living 800-900 years. I think they knew stuff about their bodies that we don't know. I kid you not. They knew certain things about the human, how to replenish the body. Cleansing is just only part of it. It's your diet, what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, what time of day, what you do, exercise, everything. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is look at the first few chapters of Daniel. Look at it. Then when they first got into Babylon, they was like, look, man, I ain't gonna eat these meats, man. I tell you what, give me 10 days. We gonna eat our fruits and vegetables. They gonna eat their meats. And then come back in 10 days and let's do physicals and check in there and let's see who's healthier. Right? Now this is what they ate, fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? There's an older black lady, I forget her name, out of Florida. That lady started growing her fruits at 40 and stuff like that. This lady has stopped aging. Her husband, they got pictures of this lady from the 70s. She looked just like she do now.
right? She's probably in her 20s back then, 20s and 30s. You know, black folks don't age worth a damn. This lady said she started growing her own fruits and vegetables. She would get up every morning at 5 o'clock. She would exercise. She would do what she had to do. And she said her husband kept eating meat. And she said, man, they interviewed this lady. This good. I mean, damn good. Like, good enough to like. And I was like, damn, how did she do that? How did this lady pull this off? Plant diet. I'm talking about myself because I ain't on no plant diet. I eat meat. I'm sorry, I do. But I'm telling y'all the truth. Why is it that people can do this shit? You know what I'm saying? Why can people do this and play and do these things so long? And this shit is really like, you don't get taught this in school. Why aren't we learning this in school? Huh? Why when you go to school and you take your health class, they don't teach you about fasting? They don't teach you about this shit. Huh? Why when you go to school, who designs your curriculum? Who designed, what's the name of that shit? Common Core. The Common Core. Huh? They make sure they teach you how to do anal sex and sick, nasty shit like that. They're not teaching you some real shit that can help you in your life, like how to balance a checkbook, how to count money, basic shit. They're not teaching you how to count money. They're not teaching you how to do anything in your life that'll help you. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to balance a checkbook. You don't know how to, but they don't teach you about budgeting. Certain white high schools down here will do that. I will get these white kids. Actually, I've seen white kids that took the damn financial peace thing. Exactly, they don't teach you life skills. Good point. There was this financial peace thing, Financial Peace University with Dave Ramsey. They made that shit. Some of these white folks don't give a fuck down here in Georgia. They put that shit into the school curriculum for these kids about debt and shit like that. So now they actually know. Like my generation, I went to college. I fucked up. I went to college and got into a bunch of credit card debt when I was in college. I got in it. Now, really, I probably could have paid that shit. I went them about $4,000-$5,000. But when you in college and you ain't got no money, that's a lot of damn money. My credit was fucked all the way up till I was in my mid-20s, upper 20s. Before that shit started falling off my credit because of what I did at 21, 22 when I was in college. And I'm broke and I'm getting out of practice at 7:30, 8 o'clock. The union closed, right? Ain't got nowhere to eat. They just shut down the cafeteria because Coach doesn't kept us in practice till 8 o'clock cussing, going off. Me and my homeboy can't eat. So we like, fuck that shit. I'm finna take this credit card. I'm taking my ass to the grocery store and I'm finna buy me something to eat. I'm going to the chicken coop. If you know what I'm talking about in Tuskegee. If you know what I'm talking about in Tuskegee. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I did. Now why did I do that? Because that's the only choice we had in college. It ain't like when you had an HBCU, shit is different. White college, that shit be open till 2 in the morning. Not for black kids, not in these blacks till 2 in the morning. Not for black kids, not in these black schools. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is government has never been afraid. Has government done things that we've benefited from, like kind of as a byproduct? Yeah. I'm not dishonest about it. I mean, when it comes to, I guess the civil. I mean, shit. I'm kind of on the fence about the damn civil rights legislation. All right, maybe the Voting Rights Act. All right, maybe that. Okay. I might say that's about it. That's the only. I'm not gonna say civil rights integration. I mean, come on. Do we really think when the government in Plessy versus Ferguson? I can't remember what Plessy versus Ferguson is really about, but I do know that Brown versus the Board of Education. What's up, Naeem? I don't think that Brown versus the Board of Education did anything to really help the black community. It really fucked our education up. If you go back and look at where we were testing before they integrated the schools, we were actually better academically. We actually held up to whites. We were like a step behind them academically. We weren't too far behind them academically. As soon as they integrated the schools, there came all the private schools. A lot of white people took their kids and went to private schools. And those private schools, those white higher upper echelon kids, or they created the suburbs. And through Fannie Mae and Freddie, see the suburbs. And through Fannie Mae and Freddie, see, this is another way the government fuck black people. Fannie Mae and Freddie specifically made it their business to make sure that they didn't allow written ideology. Was like, we're not going to give loans to black people through Fannie Mae and Freddie. And when they said that, what that did was that basically created the suburbs. The suburbs were created. And so what happened is they took the tax dollars that black people and everybody else was paying, and they took that shit and sent it out to the suburbs and created better schools. Sorry about that. Black people in the suburbs started causing shit like that, getting jobs, or whatever, and what happens? They move back into the inner city, gentrify the neighborhoods, and they raise that shit up to houses of 700,000-800,000 in near downtown Atlanta. Yeah, it is right now. It is, near downtown Atlanta, stuff like that. And now black people getting gentrified out of their own neighborhoods again. You know what I'm saying? Like they did the first time in a lot of areas. A lot of these suburbs were created by black neighborhoods, right? And they kicked them out of there. It's legendary. They created Central Park in New York. That was a flourishing black neighborhood. And they built the park right over the damn black neighborhood. Exactly. I don't have Wi-Fi. But anyway, guys, I just, like I said, that when I hear black people say something like government, it's because of government that America, you really don't understand shit about government. You don't. And that shows the lack of real, like how our education system is really failing its students. And that shows when black people are for or against school choice. How am I online? I'm not on Wi-Fi. My phone Wi-Fi is when you connect through some other way, through a network like a little modem. I'm not connected through a modem. I'm on my phone service on Metro PCS. That's how I'm connected. But anyway, so what was I saying? Because he kind of got me off. Like I say, man, the education system fails black people, and I think that when you try to get a choice to be able to go to another school, the education system fails you again, because the teachers unions are basically one of the strongest, if not the strongest lobby in Washington. Not gonna go down there no more. And so what happens is the people wind up getting locked out and stuck into this lower rung because of your education. I do think I believe in the importance of education. I do. I'm sorry. I used to be kind of like, I read the Robert Kiyosaki books. It is crazy, but I don't really bitch about gentrification, because if your ass ain't owning your house and your property and your neighbor, it ain't like the property taxes in Georgia are ridiculous. You can afford that shit if you got a job, or if you got any type of wherewithal about yourself. If you getting gentrified, a lot of times, this is why, and I heard Jason Black, I was listening to a video this morning about the conscious community. He made a good point. He was saying, on the watch of the conscious, people that want to talk about the chakras and the frequencies and the pyramids, on their watch in Harlem got gentrified. So Zora Neale Hurston and all this shit, all their houses, Langston Hughes, all this shit, there's a white people right now. White people done bought that shit right out from under us. And they won't sell that shit. That shit gonna be in their family for decades, for generations. And what's gonna happen? By the time that shit sells, it's gonna be worth $200-300 million. When we could have bought that shit dollars. When we could have bought that shit and protected it and had it in our family. A lot of times, a lot of shit will sell. I saw a video about the guy who owns Hank Aaron's contract. Not Hank Aaron's. What's the guy name? Jackie Robinson. This white guy, sports memorabilia guy, got the contract from the Monarchs with the Yankees that Jackie Robinson signed. That damn contract is worth $500,000. The family sold that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The family sold it. I ain't gonna say they sold. However, I don't even know if they sold it. My thing is, if you Jackie Robinson, why the hell I would have so much shit for my family? My family should never be broke. If I'm Jackie Robinson, you broke the color barrier in sports, which is a good thing, but even still, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit we don't value. We're not educated. We're not bright academically. Well, we can learn. Just because you're not bright today don't mean you can't become bright. I'm not one of those guys that say, okay, you stupid and you just doomed. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I think that you can be stupid one day and you can educate yourself.
We just need to make educating ourselves. They were trying to debate and it didn't go too well. I'll go check it out. I'll go check that shit out. I know that shit probably devolved into some real fuckery. But I'll go check that shit out. Boy, I saw that title. What was it? Is there such thing as a not being attractive tax or some shit like that? I thought that was funny. But what happened is, man, a lot of black people in math and in science, we don't do this shit. We don't major. But that doesn't mean just because you got out of school and you were a terrible student, don't mean you can't educate yourself and become more intelligent. In fact, IQ, if you really look at it, IQ and intelligence means that, like, if a kid is 7 years old and he has an IQ of 180, it means that if he's 7 years old, has an IQ of, let's say, 210, it means that he has the intelligence of I think, what did they say, like a 30-year-old? He has the intelligence of a 30-year-old at 7. That's intelligence. So I notice it now as I'm getting older, I'm getting more intelligent. Go around this motherfucker, you fuck up enough. If you fuck up enough in life, you'll learn and learn and learn, and you'll get smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. And you'll start seeing shit different. When you get older, you see shit a whole different way. Like, I watched the video that Paris Milan put up of the black lady slapping the white lady because the white lady did some shit. I thought that was stupid. That you just haul off and slap some white lady because she reached over your daughter. As long as you didn't, I don't say word, you can say what the fuck you want to say to her. Say something to her, check her, but hitting the lady on camera, that probably wasn't intelligent. Lady filming, you walk up and punch her in the face and say, bitch, I'm gonna knock your neck out like that. No, I wouldn't do that. That doesn't make you a coward. That just means you're just not intelligent. You know what I'm saying? We can't make emotional knee-jerk reactions to shit. And that's what black people do. They make these knee-jerk ass decisions, and then y'all backing this lady. Yeah, she should have hit her. Like, all right, let's see how that shit work out for her. You got a video that's going viral saying you done been hitting on motherfuckers. You admitting it on camera that you hit the lady in the face. Okay, we'll see. That shit ain't finna go well for her ass. Probably shouldn't have done that. I'm not finna hit them. I'm not finna do certain shit on camera. But in this day and age, black people, especially young black people, want to see some sort. We're so tired of racism and white supremacy that we're willing to go out here and do dumb shit like that and don't see the stupidity of it. If I say something about it, I'm a weak ass spineless jellyfish coon nigga for telling you, hey man, that probably wasn't smart to hit some tit a white lady on camera. Fuck you, nigga, you a coon. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm a coon. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think IQ is something that is even legit or something you should measure and decide your life. Because Africans come from sub-Saharan Africa. The average IQ in Africa, in the continent, is 70. Yet when they come to America, they outproduce Asians, who have an IQ on average of about 108, somewhere in there. So how the hell you outproduce somebody with an IQ that's damn near 40 points lower than yours? Huh? That's supposed to be impossible, ain't it? Why is that? Don't listen to that IQ bullshit. I don't believe that. Just people that just ain't intelligent. Yeah, I do believe you could be a lot of just stupid as hell. There are a bunch of stupid people, and there just so happens to be a lot of us in our community that are stupid. I'm sorry, we make dumb choices, and we're emphatically stupid. We will defend our ignorance. A lot of us will. Now, this video I just set up here and talked about government and how government fucks black people over. And a lot of us are going to go out. A lot of people will go out and argue with this point. Somebody will come in the comment section and they'll make the point that, man, you full of shit, man. The government is good for black people. Da-da-da-da-da this and da-da-da-da-da that. You know, government gave us safety net programs. I saw a brother making, you need safety net programs. You need a safety net. No, the fuck you don't need a safety net. If you go out and you fuck a drug dealer, you don't need a safety net. You need to feel the effects of making dumb choices. This is why women fuck dumb niggas like that. I ain't gonna say dumb, but just this is why women fuck thugs a lot of times. You'll fuck a thug when you got Section 8 welfare, TANF, and all that shit you can get on. See, you know, I'm sorry, y'all want me to just give y'all the real? Like, that's what it is. A lot of the dating choices that a woman will make are hinged upon government benefits and programs. If you get rid of these government benefits, these government programs, a lot of women won't fuck the dudes they fuck. The apex predator will no longer be in the, and I don't think, this is my personal opinion, I always say this, I don't believe the apex predator in the sense of dating, the guy that gets the most women, in other words, is a thug. I don't believe that shit. I travel. I'm out here in these streets. I live in Atlanta. I've been around. I've been to HBCUs. I know a lot of brothers that are educated that get tons of women. I have never had a problem getting a woman. I'm not a thug. I'm from the hood, but I'm not a thug. I don't think that I've never had a problem getting a woman. So I don't believe that thugs are the apex predators. However, when you're younger and you're in your 20s and you're broke, then yeah, a guy who sells drugs is going to be able to get more women. That's just a fact. But when you get older and you get your swag about yourself, you know who the fuck you are, you become more confident, you know you're a grown ass man, you feel like you got that grown and sexy and vibe about you, like, nigga, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't intimidated by you because you a pretty woman with a fat ass. Then it's gonna go to the best man. And a lot of times it don't be that thug nigga because he ain't got shit to talk about. He's silly. He childish. A woman is over 25, over 30 looking for a grown man ain't thinking like a lot of them ain't. Now, are there some grown women that still fuck thugs? Yes. But I'm just saying it ain't always given that a thug is gonna win. But a lot of people don't know that because they got so scarred when they was 17 because the thugs won. They still 45 years old, still talking about thugs get all the pussy. They really still believe that shit because they didn't develop their social skills. They still don't have those social skills, and they 40 years old. And of course, when you come to the internet, you have no real way of knowing who's a faker and who's real, who's up here just talking shit from the comfort of their own living room, and who really is out here in these streets in women's faces and talking and getting past their fears, facing their fears, walking up to that badass woman and talking to her, getting past their fears and realizing she's just as human as he is, and not putting these women on a pedestal. Because if I bitch about a woman's dating choices over and over and over, I actually am putting her on a pedestal. Because I give a fuck what she do with her cookie. Way more, and I give it more power than that. I do. Now, if I don't view her with any value like that, and I don't put her on a pedestal, then I walk up to her ass like she's just as human as I am. Then it ain't given that the guy that sells dope is gonna be the apex predator in the community. He's not gonna be the guy that gets all the women. You know what I'm saying? So, but the point I'm trying to make is the women that do choose these types of guys are women that are on these social programs, government programs. See, if I'm on Section 8, welfare, food stamps, and all that shit, then when it comes to dick, I'm just gonna choose the nigga who I think got good dick. And believe me, good always in a thug package. Just believe that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no nigga that done took out, and don't take that shit the wrong way. I'm just saying that just cause a nigga is a thug don't mean he gonna fuck you the best. Okay? So y'all some women believe that shit. That's a myth. You know what I'm saying? That's a myth. That's just a big ass myth. Nigga might be wearing some polos and dogs, you break your damn back. Believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, as it pertains to trying to get fix this dating shit that a lot of these dudes are bitching about, this shit was caused by government. I said all that what I just said to tie this shit in the government. Government caused all this shit. Our dating is fucked up. We are at war right now on the internet. Government, CIA operative by the name of Gloria Steinem. Come on, talk to me. Come on, talk to me now. Tell me everything I'm saying ain't an example of how the government fucked black people with feminism. Some shit that they gave us through a white CIA operative by the name of Gloria Steinem, a small head, mind you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Social engineering everywhere. The NAACP. Small head started that shit. They run that shit now. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all got to see this thing for what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Government has never been our friend. This is why we are where the fuck we are. And you got some nigga yesterday when I said that the government
I'm finna round it out. When I said what I said yesterday about the government not, shouldn't be able to take a third of my fucking check that I went out here but bust my ass trying to flip houses to get to. And they just get a third off the top as a partner, and I don't think that shit is fair. And the nigga gonna come talking about, well, man, I mean, you are what did he say? He's like, man, you should, yeah, that's fair. The government should get a third of your check. You out your fucking mind. You out your fucking mind. The government does not deserve to get a third of my check that I went. I'm a black man from the hood. Ain't nobody ever gave me shit. I hate when they take my parking space. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see my way out of what the situation that I'm in as a black man, and I get into this circumstance, a situation, and I say, you know what? Let me get a house, and I figure out how to flip houses. I make a substantial amount of money, and the government IRS I got to pay them all this damn money. That shit ain't right. It's not right. And I think black people don't understand that shit. I think we think that the government is good for us. No, the government is bad. The government has done a lot of damage for black people. You guys, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. This is what you do. If you want to start borrowing money, I'm finna go because I remember this. Go to Dave Ramsey's website and find his local endorsed local provider, right? And what you do is, when they ask for your tax returns, you make sure that you pay that tax account, that accountant. You make sure you pay his ass a nice lump sum of money. And he gonna make your shit look nice for the bank. So when he go in, because he knows what these banks. There's a guy I had. I ain't gonna say it, his last name was. I forgot his name. I think it was Vogel. Anyway, Robert Vogel. I think he was an attorney. A tax accountant in Montgomery. And what he did, he was an ELP. Man, he had my shit looking fantastic when I went to these banks. That actually helps you borrow money. You know what I'm saying? And then if the attorney. If they see his name, or they gonna know who you fucking with. This type of shit that you need to do. This is why when I had a partner, and when I was in my comedy club, I had a partner, and I told him, I said, man, let's hire this accountant, maintain our shit, and make sure, man, I don't need nobody knowing my business better than me. It's not that he gonna know the business better than you. We need this accountant because if we need to go to the bank and borrow money or do anything, he has relationships with these banks in this city. He's well respected. When they see his seal on our paperwork, that actually warrants us a level of cachet. And I seen this shit firsthand when I walked in the bank. These are little tricks that you can do when you're trying to do business. You know what I'm saying, guys? These are the tricks. Hold on one second. These are the little tricks that you could do. Damn, why did I bring it? Hold on. That you need to do, man, if you're trying to get your shit together, man, so you can borrow money and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I might do a video on preparing to borrow money and what you need to say, how you need to borrow money when you go to the bank, what you need to have. Like, you need to have at least on a minimum 2 years tax returns, and your tax returns need to be around $40,000-$50,000. You need to have primarily, you may not need to have 20%. And the department you want to go to is commercial lending, right? You may not want to have, but maybe, you might have. It depends on what you're trying to do. You might, if you're trying to do a rehab, be careful. I prefer if you're going to do rehab, go into a credit union. But if you're going to go to a bank, make sure if you go in the commercial lending department that you got your shit in order and you got your paperwork together. Try to go to a small mom and pop bank. That's actually easier to borrow from instead of something like Wells Fargo or down here in the South, Regions or some shit. Now, I know Regions had, one thing about Regions, I had a lady that would loan money at Regions. She would do deals. And my homeboy used to do this shit. I'm gonna tell you some funny shit about him. He had Christmas, man. Christmas was coming up, right? This dude bought her ass Christmas gifts and shit and paid for her lunch. He used to pay, like, the lady that loans you money, like this, and I ain't trying to be funny. I actually soaked up that game because I agreed with him. Look, man, motherfucker loaning you money, that loan officer, get that motherfucker a lunch. Pay for their lunch. Like, if they fucking with you and they loaning you money, I don't give a fuck if they white, Asian, Indian. I don't give a fuck if they a Klan member. Buy their ass lunch. Hey, I just thought I'd buy you a little lunch. Da, 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 da. If I'm talking about this ain't got shit to do. I'm talking about after you done got the deal through. Buy them lunch. Keep that. You want that lender to be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Because they, especially a commercial commercial lending departments, a lot of times they can loan up to like $4 million. Don't nobody even ask questions. She could loan you $200,000-$300,000 in just with a phone call. My homeboy had got to the point with these folks where he can call them folks in an hour and come. They'll be like, all right, it'll be here. You can come pick up the cashier's check, like that type of shit. And these are black people. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about black men that could do this shit. Now I don't. That homeboy, he moved. He don't live in no more. I talked to him yesterday, but this is when I was flipping houses, man. Shit had got that crazy. You could literally borrow money that way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. Something just told me. I don't know. Maybe God put it on my heart. Somebody had to hear it. So but I just feel like when it comes to your lender and stuff like that, build relationships with your lenders, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all types of stuff. Like I actually knew a guy who they had a Bible study. I used to go to the Bible study with him. I would come in there, we'll be talking. I'd be the only black person in there. You know what I'm saying? I bet you like you gaming the hell out of. It's not game because first of all, I didn't mind studying with him because that's me. But at the end of the day, whenever I want to go, like if I want to go to, I ain't gonna say the credit union, but if I want to go there right now, current situation, like when I flip this house, and the only thing is I don't live in Alabama no more. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing stopping me. But I actually built a great relationship with these guys. They were actually conservative Republicans too. So when my brother won the election, they called me. 3 of them called me and they were all excited because my brother won the election and everybody knew my brother was a black conservative. So that was something. So, you know, from time to time, once every 6-7 months, I would pick the phone up and call them and call. See, this is the type of shit you need to do with these bankers, man. Think about it. We can't just walk up in a fucking bank random off the street. They don't fucking know you and just drop your paperwork down there. Hit my tax returns. You need to get your shit prepared with an accountant. They gonna do all that shit. Income statement, balance sheet, all that shit. They have all that shit laid out. These are the types of things you need to do. You need to also have you a corporation already established now. If you don't have it established now, you can go buy one or you can just buy a shelf corporation. A cheap one. It can just be a basic established corporation. Don't need to have no credit, nothing. Just a basic shelf corporation with an EIN number. That might be 2 or 3 years old. That way it'll look like you've been in business for a few years. You know what I'm saying? This type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Have your corporation established. Have your personal check going into a bank account that you established with that corporation that you bought, that shelf corporation. Why? Because now you can show income for that corporation. Once you can show income for that corporation, I mean, it's, you know, you like, well, dang, I ain't really making no money. You got a job? Yeah. Okay, then. With your corporation making money, because it's that corporation, if they show that corporation's bank statement, now I could go and borrow money with that corporation because you got an EIN number. You got income coming in through that corporation. And especially if it's your savings, you got a lot of money saved up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure. Well, yeah, you got to make sure you don't have no debt. One thing you want to make sure also is, guys, you also want to make sure that if you're going to do a shelf corporation and you get everything set up, that if you're going, one of the things you got to do, learn how to do it, you're not going to be successful in anything I just said. Spending. Your spending. If you do not have your spending habits under control, you will not make it in this business. In real estate. I'm going to tell you now, if I was a dumb nigga that would make $70,000, $80,000 off a house and then turn around and take that house and go sell it, I mean, take that 40, 70 or whatever I make and go buy a car or buy, you see, I just bought that truck. I ain't buying nothing else for a minute. I got a convertible Jaguar that I keep in my garage and I got that truck. That's it. I ain't buying shit else. You know what I'm saying? I ain't drove the damn Jaguar in a minute. I need to probably go start it up and make sure it's running. But that's it. I don't drive cars like I'm not a car, and I love cars, but I'm not gonna spend. Next time I buy a car, bitch, I'm buying that bitch like something nice. And even when I buy something nice, it's gonna be 2 years old. Then what it is. You know what I'm saying? But your spending needs to be under control. You need to pay your debts off before you go borrow money. Before you think about borrowing money, get out of debt. Man, I got a lot of debt. Okay, cool. Get the bulk of your debt cleared up. Start with your smallest debts. Your smallest debts usually you can knock out in a few months. Can you do that? See if you have the discipline to be able to do that. If you don't have the discipline, I mean, yeah, you could use the card to buy real estate and pay off. You say you get a $20,000 loan to pay off your credit card debt. You could do that, guys. You can take a $20,000 loan, pay off your credit card debt. The issue is you still got the debt. You know what I'm saying? And those credit cards will, once you pay them off, that'll actually shoot you back up. Your credit score, you'll jump up. It'll go down literally the first day you do it. A couple of days it'll go down, then it'll shoot up. I don't know why it does that. Mine did that when I paid off some stuff not too long ago. So when you pay stuff off, your credit gonna go down, then it's gonna shoot up. But it happened like that. Make sure, guys, that you got all your paperwork in order. Make sure that you're living on. I mean, guys, when I say this, I mean literally. Go watch the video I have called Work Ethic is Everything. In that video, I got my brother from the channel called Black Men Taking Back Our Communities. I took a couple of his videos and I put them in there. And in those videos, he's actually showing. Did I bring my damn headphones? I cannot without my headphones. Sorry, y'all. I can't have me some noise while I'm working, right? But the thing is, guys, in that video, this brother showed where he went to the bank and pulled out I think that was about $40,000. He pulled out about $40,000 cash. He said, man, this is what I call living bitter, brothers. Just, living on less than you make. If you can't live bitter, if you can't live below your means and have exercise discipline for about 2 years, if you do, I don't give a damn what your situation is. If you do 2 years of disciplined living, you'll be able to borrow some money. You will. First of all, your debt's going to be paid down tremendously. You'll be able to show this shit academically. I mean, not academically, financially. Your accountant will see it. Your accountant, you need to hire him first. You need to say, I'm trying to pay my debts off. You need to go sit down with an accountant today. This is what rich people do. This is why rich people beat us in shit. They got accountants. We don't even got no fucking accountant. Read the Rich Dad books. One of the things he talks about is building your team. See, you got an accountant with some relationships with these banks. You got an accountant that when they see his shit, they know him because his people, all his clients borrow money. You know what I'm saying? His people borrow money. They know his people when they see him. They're like, oh yeah, you one of so-and-so's clients. I kid you not, this dude, I was trying to do a big ass deal in Birmingham at an area called Glen Iris. We was going to do some apartments just right for the housing bubble. I had a partner from California. And what he did was, man, this dude got on the phone and called up to Birmingham and called some people that was going to loan us the money. And they was going to fuck with us till all that shit happened. But they was literally fucking with us. The only reason, he said, on the strength of his relationship with that guy. That shit goes a long way. This is how business is done. This is why people do business with the golf course. I don't play golf, but this is how business is done a lot of times. Relationships, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you get these relationships, man, be extremely nice. I don't say kiss ass, but shit, I'm gonna be nice to the motherfucker. We used to take this dude to Shasky's Deli. We used to take him over there. Me and him, we went over there a couple times, took the dude to lunch. And we had another dude that was asset management section department. That's the guy that when they was gonna foreclose on somebody, this is a black dude, right? Ain't gonna say his name because I think he still worked there. So what he's the guy that records all of the loans and if they defaulting on loans, right? And we would slip him money. Whenever we do a deal, we would throw him money. You know what I'm saying? This is a brother. And he used to call us and see one thing about a bank. I ain't gonna say the name of the bank, but the bank will have a property and then they have, this is the price and this is what we'll take. This is what we in it for, but this is what we'll take to get it off our books. It's usually around 35-40% of what the fuck they in it for. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is, my homeboy, he was greedy, man. He would try to offer
exactly what the fuck they say they'll take. I'm like, come on, man, you gonna get your boy fucked up. You can't come in there. If they say they want 35% on the dollar, they say they want 100, and they saying they'll take 35, this nigga offer 35. I'm like, no, man, offer like 47 or something, man, 48. Don't make it obvious. You know, we still can make some money off the damn property, you know. But man, they be having like notes, apartment complexes, car washes that they finance, like those little conveyor car washes. That's how I know a guy right now that got like 3 conveyor car washes and a apartment complex. Black dude, right? I know his whole story. He don't know I know that. I know how he got his money. I know how he got started. And every time I call him, an older guy, he'll be like, yeah, son, I worked hard to get what, which I ain't saying he probably didn't work hard. What I'm saying is he got his start by a lawsuit that he got. But at least he had the smarts and intelligence to build him some apartments. So he didn't have to work no more. He built like I done broke the window out. He built like a 36 unit apartment building or something. And then from there, now he's trying to sell it for 1.7 million, which he won't get from me. Cause if I borrow 1.7 million, I can build me a damn shit. Just, you talking about carpet and I'm talking about carpet, cheap bottom of the line countertops with particle board, plastic tubs, 8-foot popcorn ceilings. Bottom of the line. Each unit probably run him about $40,000 to build. He got like 2 apartment complex, 2 and 3, like, and they like 700, 800 or 1,000 square feet. Some of them. I'm like, dude, you probably spent like, maybe for the small ones, you might have spent maybe 30, 35. So if I bought 1.7 million, do the math. You know what I'm saying? The land he put in a cheap area. So I mean, he might have got that land for $30,000. You know what I'm saying? This dude probably spent $1 million, if that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say a little over $1 million. Now he spent $1 million. That's what he spent. He spent $1 million. That's what dude told me he spent. Like he had a loan from the bank from like $1 million, 1.1, 1.2, and that's how he got started. Now he's trying to get. He built this back in like 1990. It's about paid off, and he trying to get 1.7 million. Like, you crazy. Anyway, y'all have a good one, man.